You can be brilliant. You can be strategic, efficient, and full of big ideas. But if people don't feel heard, they won't follow you. We often think leadership is about having answers. But in truth, it begins with understanding emotions. Because before people trust your vision, they need to trust you. Think about the best boss you've ever had. Maybe they weren't the smartest person in the room, but they made you feel valued, safe to speak up, and motivated to do your best. Now think about the worst one, the one who ignored, criticized, or dismissed you. You probably didn't leave the job. You left the manager. That's not a personality issue. That's an empathy gap. For decades, leadership training focused on productivity, metrics, and decision-making. But modern research from Harvard Business Review shows the leaders who inspire the highest loyalty and performance aren't those who push hardest. They're those who listen first. In other words, empathy isn't soft, it's smart strategy. In a world of pressure, deadlines, and burnout, empathy is the one skill that transforms authority into trust. It turns "I manage people" into "I understand people," and that's why they follow me. So let's explore the missing leadership skill that every great workplace needs: empathy at work. Let's start with a truth many people miss. Empathy is not agreement. It doesn't mean you have to approve of someone's actions or even feel the same way they do. It simply means you understand what they're feeling, and you care enough to respond thoughtfully. Empathy is the bridge between logic and emotion, the place where understanding replaces judgment. Imagine a team member comes to you saying, "I'm overwhelmed. I can't handle this deadline." A common leadership reaction might be, "We all have stress, just push through." But an empathetic leader pauses and says, "I hear you. Let's look at what's blocking you and how we can make this manageable." It's not about being soft, it's about being smart enough to know that calm minds perform better than fearful ones. Psychologist Daniel Goleman, who coined the concept of emotional intelligence, describes empathy as the ability to sense another's feelings and perspective and to take an active interest in their concerns. Empathy isn't just emotion, it's data. It gives leaders real-time feedback about morale, motivation, and culture. Without empathy, leaders rely on reports and numbers. With empathy, they read the room. There are three main types of empathy. 1. Cognitive empathy, understanding someone's thoughts and perspective. 2. Emotional empathy, feeling their emotions as if they were your own. 3. Compassionate empathy, turning understanding into supportive action. A good leader practices all three, but balances them carefully. Too little empathy, and people feel unseen. Too much unchecked empathy, and you burn out. The art of leadership is to feel enough to connect, but stay calm enough to guide. So empathy is not about tears in meetings or constant comfort. It's about creating psychological safety, a culture where people know their emotions matter. Because when people feel seen, they give more than their time. They give their trust. Let me tell you 2 short stories. Both are true. Both reveal what empathy can do, or destroy, inside a workplace. The first comes from a global coffee brand you probably know, Starbucks. When an employee made a mistake that led to a public backlash, the CEO, Howard Schultz, didn't issue punishment or a PR spin. He flew to the store personally, sat down with the staff and said, "This isn't about blame, it's about learning." That moment of empathy, not anger, saved morale, restored trust, and rebuilt public respect. Because Schultz understood something most leaders forget. People mirror the emotion of the person in power. If you lead with fear, you spread fear. If you lead with empathy, you spread calm. Now let's look at the opposite. A tech startup, growing fast, under pressure. The CEO constantly pushed harder, longer hours, bigger goals, louder meetings. When employees asked for rest, he called them weak. Within a year, his top performers quit. The product shipped late. Investors lost confidence. And ironically, the company failed from the inside out. He didn't lack vision, he lacked empathy. Empathy doesn't slow business down, it keeps it sustainable. Because stress might motivate people for a day, but understanding motivates them for a lifetime. Neuroscience backs this up. When employees feel emotionally safe, Their brains release oxytocin, a chemical that builds trust and collaboration. When they feel threatened, they release cortisol, which narrows focus and kills creativity. So, empathy isn't sentimental, it's biological strategy. The best leaders understand this balance. Empathy is not losing authority, it's leading through connection, not control. Brené Brown said it perfectly. Empathy fuels connection. Judgment drives disconnection. And if leadership is about influence, then empathy is the language influence speaks. Empathy isn't something you're born with or without. It's a skill. And like any skill, it grows with intentional practice. The problem is that most workplaces reward speed, not presence. We rush through conversations, solve problems before understanding them, and confuse talking at people with talking to them. So, let's slow it down. Here are 4 simple habits that build empathy into your leadership, without adding a single meeting to your calendar. 1. The 10-second pause. Before you respond to anyone, a question, a complaint, or feedback, take 10 seconds to breathe and really listen. Don't interrupt. Don't mentally draft your answer. Just listen with the goal of understanding, not winning. That pause gives the other person space to feel heard, and it gives you time to respond with wisdom instead of reflex. 2. Mirror and validate. When someone expresses frustration or sadness, don't rush to fix it. Instead, reflect what you heard. Say things like, "It sounds like you're under a lot of pressure. That must have been difficult for you." These small acknowledgments are emotional oxygen. They tell people, "I see you, I get it." And once people feel understood, they open up to solutions. 3. Ask, don't assume. We often assume we know what others need, but empathy requires curiosity. Try asking, "What would help you most right now? How can I support you better next time?" These questions do 2 things. They build trust and reveal what really matters. Empathy turns from guessing into listening. Show your own humanity. You don't lose authority by being human. You gain it. Share small pieces of your own struggle. Say, "I felt that too," or "I understand how exhausting this can be." When leaders model vulnerability, they give permission for honesty. And honesty is the soil where great teams grow. Empathy isn't a meeting tactic, it's a way of being. You practice it in how you email, how you listen, how you look at someone who's having a rough day. The secret is consistency, not grand gestures, just small moments of genuine care. Because empathy doesn't have to be loud to be powerful, it just has to be real. Let's be honest, empathy can be exhausting. When you care deeply about people, their stress becomes your stress. Their worries echo inside your head after hours. Many leaders quietly burn out not because of pressure from above, but from emotional overload coming from the team they serve. That's why healthy empathy requires boundaries. Psychologist Adam Grant calls this compassionate detachment. It means caring with clarity. You listen, you understand, but you don't absorb everything. Think of it like standing beside someone in the rain. You hold the umbrella for them, but you don't throw yourself into the storm. Empathy should connect you, not consume you. Studies from the University of Michigan show that leaders who practice regulated empathy, meaning they balance emotional understanding with self-awareness, experience less burnout and higher long-term trust from employees. Because when you stay emotionally grounded, you become a source of stability for others. Your calm gives people permission to calm down too. That's real leadership energy, not dominance, but steadiness. So how do you protect yourself while staying empathetic? Schedule emotional recovery. After a hard conversation, take 5 minutes alone. Breathe, reflect, reset. 2. Don't personalize pain. Their frustration isn't failure. It's data about the system. 3. Model calm. Don't fake it. If you feel overwhelmed, acknowledge it. Authenticity is grounding. Remember, you don't have to fix everyone. You just have to be present and whole. Because empathy without boundaries is martyrdom. But empathy with boundaries, that's wisdom. Great leaders don't carry every burden. They help others carry their own. And that's how entire teams stay strong together. When people talk about great leaders, they rarely remember spreadsheets, targets, or strategy decks. They remember moments. A kind word during a bad week, a manager who actually listened, a leader who said, "I believe in you." That's empathy. And it's what transforms ordinary management into lasting impact. Let's recap what empathy truly gives you as a leader. 1. Trust. People follow those who make them feel safe. 2. Insight. Empathy reveals problems before they become crises. 3. Inspiration. It unlocks motivation that no paycheck can buy. 4. Longevity. Empathy prevents burnout for you and your team. Because in the end, leadership isn't about control, it's about connection. When you walk into a room as a leader, you set the emotional temperature. If you bring tension, the room tightens. If you bring calm, people breathe again. If you bring empathy, you turn that room into a space of possibility. Your title might earn compliance, but only empathy earns commitment. So the next time you lead a meeting, don't just ask for updates. Ask how people are really doing. Look them in the eye. Listen for what's not said. And remember, leadership isn't about being above people. It's about standing with them. Empathy is not weakness. It's courage wrapped in kindness. It's the quiet strength that keeps teams together when everything else falls apart. So lead with empathy. Not because it looks good on paper, but because it makes people better. And when people grow, so does every organization they touch. That's the missing leadership skill, and it starts with you. If this message resonated with you, share it with a leader who needs to hear it. And remember, you don't build better companies by managing emotions. You build them by understanding them. Stay mindful, lead with heart, and I'll see you in the next video.